2 cameras, split screen. If you're gonna go formula straight out the gate, maybe you would want this. These aren't gonna fold quite the same. It's not rocket science though, I will tell you that. For the first 6 months, the crib is collecting dust. I would not spend the money on this unless you find your baby is just really struggling with what are the top items you need on your baby registry for 2026. If you are in the midst of working on your baby registry, you're in the right place. I take them off Amazon and I review them. Okay, I can do this for you if you need the help. For now, let's jump into today's baby registry. So the first item on here is like a wrap style carrier. For me, that is a must have for 2026. I liked having my babies cocooned on me. They could relax. And if you got a fussy baby, I think it helps to just wear them personally. Not too expensive. It's an item that's very compact, easy to wash, easy to store in the diaper bag, easy to also just put in a dresser. Okay, it's not a cumbersome buckle carrier. So the wrap is a win for me. The next item is a floor mat play gym. Not necessary. They're tiny. You could just use a quilt. Could be a skip. The next one is a pack and play. For me, it's a yes, but I like a very simple pack and play. Now this one's a happy medium. It has that upper level. I actually would say don't get that. I would get the deeper one and it's just simple and it's for honestly being a travel crib. All right, sometimes you're on the go. Next we have socks. Now these socks are kind of confusing me. I'm like, boy, girl, which way are we going here? I wouldn't get too far ahead. I also wouldn't get newborn. I would keep my baby in sleepers for the most part. Now, if you're gonna put them in outfits, they will need some socks, but keep it minimal. My other piece of advice, if possible, if you can find it, if you notice all these socks are like matching like individual pairs, what I get my kids now is I get them a set that has like white, gray, and black, and I'll just make piles in their room. So if they lose one black sock, it's okay. They still have like 7. So I like to do stacks of socks rather than individual matching socks. Next we have mittens. For me, mittens are a skip. Get sleepers that have it built in. Or you could use some of those big old socks you registered for and put those on their hands. Then we have some Hello Kitty onesies. Definitely not my style, but if that's your style, cool, whatever. I like gender neutral a lot of the time, but if you have like a Hello Kitty thing, okay. A 6-pack of washcloths. I like this. They all match. They're all the same. Cool. Then we have 2 hooded towels. For me, these aren't gonna fold quite the same. I mean, ideally they're the same brand, so ideally they're the same size. I like things to fold and stack nicely. That's me being just like, OCD. To each their own. The Frida Baby bath here actually is a win for me, and it would be something I would recommend on your 2026 baby registry. I did the Angel Care Bath Support, but it doesn't hold water. It's just a support to put in the tub. You still have to use a lot of water. I like the small bath where there, way less water is needed. So for me, this is a win. Now we have 2 different changing pads. One is a lot more affordable, one's a lot more expensive. And you know what I would say? You don't need either of them. I changed my baby on a quilt on the floor or on the guest bed that was in their bedroom. I went ahead and had the crib and a big bed. So for me, baby does not need a specific changing location. Just me. There's $200 back. Then we have diapers. Diapers are always a win. More diapers, great. And then we have a diaper pail. For me, the diaper pail is a skip. I just put our diapers in the kitchen trash can. I would bag up the poops or I would take them out to the garage. But for me, it just wasn't that serious. I didn't need a diaper pail. Then we have triple paste. This is like a butt diaper rash cream. Okay. Next, the bottle warmer. For me, this was a skip, but I breastfed. If you're gonna go formula straight out the gate, maybe you would want this. Does your sink water run at a decent temp, or are you getting them filtered water? Like, could you just get them used to room temperature water? It's not rocket science though, I will tell you that. Okay, next, this is the component that goes on the trip trap. Like, I don't want to say high chair, but it's kind of like a high chair booster seat. So this is like the baby insert. I don't know. I wouldn't get the trip trap. It's a little too expensive for me. I would just do a booster seat that fits in a chair and wait till they're old enough to sit up properly. I wouldn't feed my baby food too early, I guess, where they need to be like reclined. If they can sit up, we can go for it. Then we got some cloth bibs. These are great for when you're in the bottle or breastfeeding phase. Overall, I think these are cute. I like gender neutral on items like this. Next, we have burp cloths. I like that they're white, basic. I like my basics. Then we have the Philip Avent bottle. Okay, when it comes to bottles, I think you should go with one type and stick with it. Then you're gonna have all matching parts and pieces versus different bottles equal different everything. Next is the Trip Trap high chair. So it's like a high chair, but it's also kind of like a booster seat. They're expensive. I would seriously consider looking secondhand for this item. Next, we have Philip Avent pacifiers. Up to you what pacifier you wanna go with. Nothing wrong with that. Then a humidifier. I don't know why everybody thinks babies need humidifiers. Ours lived without it. They were just fine. Maybe if you live in the desert, maybe then, but other than that, I don't see the need. Then we have a baby monitor. When it comes to monitors, I always say this, 2 cameras, split screen, so you can see both cameras. That way that if you have a second child, you're already ready to go. And then a screen that is 5 inches or larger. That is my recommendation. All right, this is a nasal aspirator, pretty much a snot sucker. I would not spend the money on this unless you find your baby is just really struggling with like nasty, sick congestion. Okay, there's a lot of like these type of products, the Frida babies, and it can kind of get out of hand, and it's like you have this whole medical supply and your baby might be really healthy. All right, these aren't must-haves in my opinion. They're just in case items, and I would fill my baby registry with sleepers, with diapers, with wipes, with burp cloths, things I'm 100% gonna use, not maybe gonna use. Okay, this is a sound machine. For us, we went with the Hatch. I can't say enough good things about the Hatch. It's down in the description where my favorite products are listed, and we absolutely love it. So I would probably spend a few more bucks and get the Hatch. Next, we have a bassinet. So completely up to you on what route you want to go with sleeping. But for us, we skipped the bassinet and went straight to the crib. We never had to transition them. They never had to learn about a new space. They started out in their room in the crib. I slept on the guest bed, so I could be with them. My husband could sleep well, and they started out in the crib from day one. We got our money's worth out of that crib. Versus if you do a bassinet, for the first 6 months, the crib is collecting dust. Just another way to look at it. So for me, the bassinet was a skip. Next, a nursing cover. So I was a breastfeeding mama. Both my babies made it past a year, and different covers work for different mamas. For the newborn phase, I had like a hoop so I could see in. After that, I was okay not seeing in. They could figure it out. Coverage on the side and the back could be important to you. It just definitely depends on your breastfeeding journey and what you're after. Both my covers I got free. One was a hand-me-down and one was in like a welcome bin from Target or Amazon, like welcome basket. You don't have to spend a lot of money on your baby items, okay? Next, we have the My Breast Friend pillow. So I nursed both those babies without a breastfeeding pillow. I used a pillow off the guest bed. I would put it on the couch in the living room, nurse my baby there. After a couple months, I was kind of done with it and I put it back on the bed. I didn't have to store it. I didn't have it just living on my couch for 12 months. I also didn't have to store it between children. It just went back on the guest bed as a pillow. So just another thought, you know, you can make do with things you already have in your home. Now for me, on your 2026 registry, I would recommend a jogger stroller, but I would make sure to get one that is a travel system, because the thing about a jogger is a newborn cannot ride in a jogger unless their car seat clips in. Okay, there's no way a newborn can sit in there. Maybe if it reclines all the way flat, but you still gotta be careful. They're not necessarily newborn friendly. So do your research on that. I like a jogger and I don't run. Okay, but I wanted big wheels so I can handle the apple orchard, the pumpkin patch, kind of going off-roading at parks, like in the grass and things. So for me, the jogger was the way to go. All right, think about where you live, where you want to take baby, and what situations you're going to use the stroller. Are you always going to use it in like restaurants in the mall or like more outdoors activities? The diaper bag. For me, the diaper bag is a must-have. This diaper bag is beautiful. It comes with a changing pad for like, you know, public restrooms. Love it. Then we have the Ergo baby carrier. This is your more buckle carrier. This is more for outdoor hiking as they get older, and that wrap carrier, maybe you're not as comfortable with them in it or as confident, you know? So for me, this is a great item as well. When you're looking for a carrier, you want to look for thick shoulder straps and a thick waist strap. You want that weight of the baby to be as evenly distributed as possible. All right, an item for mom here, the ball. This might be for her prepping for baby to come, okay, bouncing on the yoga ball. No big deal there. Overall, pretty affordable and just something you can have around the house, I guess. Maybe if you have a workout room. Then we have a laundry hamper. Yes, this is a must-have for your baby registry, in my opinion. No, we are not getting the Winnie the Pooh laundry hamper. We're getting one that's classy and that they literally could use until they go to college. That's my vibe. Now, you could also use one of these as a toy holder, like say stuffed animals or like a toy bin. Baskets, things like this, they can come in handy and keep baby stuff kind of classy and organized. Next, we have a bottle drying rack. This one looks small, like it might be a travel one. I'm not 100% sure. For me, it's a skip. They can dry on a towel. Then we have the bottle brush, like washing kit. For me, you need one that's small, like a straw one, and one that's big. That's pretty much it, to be honest. Then we have wipes and diapers, always a yes. And then for the crib, we have like 2 waterproof mattress protectors. That is a wise choice, and to me, that is a must-have. A thermometer, you may want the rectal thermometer. You may also want to get one that you could use on their head or armpit or under the tongue. Maybe get 2 options there. The electric nail trimmer, I didn't get one, but I do think it's a good choice. You're going to use it often, regularly, frequently, for a long period of time. So that brings good value. Then we have a baby book. I have baby books for my girls. The key is to keep up on them. Okay, the first of every month, open it up, check and see if you need to update anything. Don't fall behind. Don't fall behind. Okay, once you do, it's a disaster. Aquaphor, we are big fans of Aquaphor in our house. Use it all the time. One of my kids gets cracks on their fingers in the winter, and we're always rubbing what we call oily on their hands. All right, so what items from this baby registry do you think are must-haves for your 2026 baby registry? Let me know in the comments. If you are interested in any of these items specifically, they will all be linked, okay? Check out the description for that, as well as another link which takes you to my offer, which is a baby registry review similar to this, only you're gonna tell me, are you gonna breastfeed? Are you gonna bottle feed? Are you gonna do daycare, stay at home mom? That'll help me learn about you to decide what you need on your baby registry and what you need to skip. So if you're in the midst of working on your baby registry, but feel like you need that little bit of support from maybe not your mom, not your sister, just an outside opinion, check out that link in the description. I would look forward to working with you.